Let's do something a little different today. No dramatic headlines, no palace tension, no sources say whispers floating around like they've got a VIP pass to royal group chats. Instead, let's talk about a moment. A small one. A quiet one. The kind that usually slips by unnoticed. Except this one didn't. Because somehow, without warning, without a campaign, without a single ounce of traditional promotion, little Princess Lilibet of Sussex just caused a full-on retail frenzy. And I mean frenzy. We're talking sold out. Not, oh, it did well over a few weeks. Not increased demand thanks to clever marketing. No, this was blink and it's gone. Retailers scrambling, websites refreshing, purchase limits suddenly appearing like, relax everyone, you can only buy two. Two. That's when you know things have gone left, because brands don't do that unless they absolutely have to. And even with those limits, still disappearing. Now pause for a second, because that right there is the part people are underestimating. It's not just that it's sold out, it's how it's sold out. That's the story. So let's rewind and actually step into the moment that started all of this. Picture it properly. A garden. But not the kind you see in glossy magazines where every leaf looks like it signed a contract to behave. This is a real garden. Grass doing its own thing. A little uneven. A little wild. The kind of place where life actually happens. And into that space walks Lilibet. No awareness, no performance, no, let me make sure I look good for the camera energy. She's just there, existing, living her best tiny human life, and she's barefoot. Now, listen, this detail matters more than people think. Because barefoot is honesty. Nobody stages barefoot. No PR meeting in the world has ever included the sentence, let's remove the shoes for relatability. That's not how this works. Bare feet mean one thing. A child decided, I don't need these, and that was the end of the discussion. And honestly, respect. Now add the bunny. Clutched under her arm with that very specific grip that every child has when they've emotionally adopted an object. You know the one. It's not just a toy anymore, it's a companion, a sidekick, a non-negotiable part of the day. That bunny was going everywhere. No styling, no intention, just love. Then comes the Easter egg hunt, and this is where everything locks in. Because what you're watching isn't performance, it's presence. She's focused, she's excited, she's fully locked into the mission. Find the eggs. And if you've ever watched a child do this, you already know it's serious business. This is not casual. This is a full-time operation, and the joy, completely real. Not exaggerated, not performed, just felt. And you can always tell the difference, always. And moving quietly through all of this is the dress, pink, floral, soft, not flashy, not dramatic, not screaming, look at me. It's just there, blending into the moment like it belongs, which, ironically, is exactly why it stood out, because it didn't try to. So now we get to the real question. Why did this happen? Why did this moment, out of everything we see every single day, cut through the noise? Because, let's be honest, we scroll past thousands of things, perfectly edited content, carefully curated lives, strategically crafted posts designed to make us feel something. And most of it, we barely remember 5 minutes later. But this stuck. Here's why. Because it wasn't trying. And in today's world, that's rare. Everything we consume is filtered, optimized, measured. There's always a goal, engagement, clicks, conversions, even the casual content. Let's be real, that took 17 takes and a ring light. But this wasn't built for us. It wasn't created with an audience in mind. It just happened. And something in people recognized that instantly, like muscle memory, like your brain going, oh, this is real. And when something real shows up, We lean in. We don't even think about it. We just do. It's like opening a window in a room that's been closed too long. Fresh air hits, and suddenly you didn't realize how much you needed it. That's what this moment was. Now let's talk about the reaction, because this is where things get fascinating. People didn't just watch, they acted. They went looking for the dress, not because they suddenly became fashion experts, not because it was revolutionary design, but because it was connected to how they felt. And this is the key difference. This wasn't influence. This wasn't someone saying, "Hey guys, I love this, you should buy it." There was no pitch, no endorsement, no call to action. Lilibet didn't even know what she was wearing. She was busy. Important business. Eggs don't find themselves. What drove this? Resonance. That deep emotional recognition of something familiar, something simple, something human. It reminded people of their own childhood, or the childhood they want for their kids, or even just a slower, softer version of life. And in that moment, the dress became a symbol. Because here's the truth. You can't buy a moment like that. You can't package joy. You can't order authenticity with next-day delivery. But you can buy something that reminds you of it. And that's exactly what people did. Now, let's zoom in a little more on Lilibet herself, because she's the center of this, and not in a viral moment way, in a human way. She's at that age where everything is discovery, where the world isn't filtered through expectations. It's just experienced, fully, completely. No overthinking, no self-awareness, no "how do I look?" just pure presence. And there's something about that that hits adults in a very specific place, because somewhere along the way we lose that. We start managing moments instead of living them. We start thinking about how things look instead of how they feel. So when we see someone who hasn't lost that yet, it stops us. For a few seconds we're back there too, running barefoot, holding something we love, focused on something simple and joyful. No pressure, no noise, just being. And that's the real impact of this moment. It gave people a feeling, a genuine one. And those are rare. Now zoom out even further. Because this isn't just about one dress. This is about a pattern. Every time something authentic breaks through, people respond. Quickly, powerfully, almost instinctively, because we're tired. Not physically, emotionally. Tired of everything being polished. Tired of everything being on. Tired of wondering what's real and what's strategy. So when something shows up that doesn't ask for anything, that doesn't perform, that doesn't try, we don't just notice it, we gravitate toward it. And that's exactly what happened here. A quiet moment, a simple scene, a child being a child. And suddenly, global attention, sold-out shelves, conversations everywhere. And the most beautiful part? Lilibet has absolutely no idea. Right now, she's probably onto something completely different. Another game, another adventure, another random object that has suddenly become very important. Still barefoot, still present, still completely herself. No strategy, no intention, no awareness of impact, just living. And somehow that was enough. More than enough. Enough to move people. Enough to sell out a dress. Enough to remind everyone watching of something they didn't even realize they were missing. Because at the end of the day, it was never really about the dress. It was about the moment, and the feeling that came with it, outro. And honestly, I think that's what makes this whole thing so special. So I've got to ask you, what did you see when you watched that moment? Was it just a cute video, or did it take you somewhere for a second? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy these kinds of deeper dives into the moments behind the headlines, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.